Let me tell you something. If you are dealing with some sort of health issue, like you're overweight, or even dealing with high blood pressure or something like that, your body is not broken. As a matter of fact, it's doing what it is designed to do. And matter of fact, it's showing you that it's okay. So I'll start this off by giving an example from my personal life when I was dealing with stomach pain. And the stomach pain would happen um, at night, and it happened a few times. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I had this burning feeling in my stomach, and I didn't know what in the world that was. You know, at the time. Now I believe maybe it was like some signs of um, maybe indigestion or something like that. And when I think about it, it did manifest a little bit later, but I didn't know what it was. But my thought was maybe I've been going in too much, like with junk food and stuff. So let me examine my diet, clean my diet up, and it went away. And there was another time I had more full indigestion where, if you're familiar with it, you get this really heavy feeling here and you feel like you want to throw up and you're heaving, and this feels horrible. And it happens in the middle of the night. And I discovered then, okay, this doesn't mean that I need to go and find some sort of pills to take, that my body is now broken and won't work right anymore. And now I got to take Tums and all that stuff. I discovered that it just meant that I didn't need to eat past a certain time of night and then sleep on it. When I stopped doing that, it went away totally. Totally. I didn't have to take any medicine or anything. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against medicine, but my point is we have so often in today's world resorted to treating our bodies like they are broken, and they're not broken. They're doing what they're supposed to do. It's just that a lot of times the solutions that we end up throwing at it are not really solutions. They're more so like masks, or you cut this off, or you suck this away, or you take some sort of medication that masks the symptoms or whatever. Treating our bodies like, oh, you're broken now. Your body will never work ever again. So we have to kind of like do this drastic kind of whatever to kind of stop what your body normally does. And and now you're dependent on something. Okay. Now, if you really think about it, and I was inspired to record a video about this because I was listening to a lady named Dr. Mindy Pelz, I believe, Pelz. She talks a lot about fasting and women's health and stuff like that. She was interviewed on a podcast I listened to a lot. And so she said something that really inspired me in this video. If you think about your body is really like, think about like a computer, even for instance. You basically, a computer is a device that you put inputs in, and depending on the inputs that you put in, that determines the outputs that you get out. And so your body is really that. When you're born into this world, you get this fully equipped body. It has all the various organs and tissues and this and that to help you to essentially interact in this world. Okay. And so, but there are things that it needs to actually grow properly, to function properly. And as long as it gets what it needs, it functions exactly the way it's supposed to function. However, once we don't get the things that we need, then our bodies will begin to malfunction, especially given enough time. So think about this: the various inputs that your body takes in, what you eat, how you sleep, your movement, your external environment, like literally, me being in this office or being outside or something like that, your thoughts, your responses to things that happen, your stress levels, your body is responding to all of that. It takes all of it in and it responds based on that. So, again, a lot of times, if we're getting some sort of response that we perceive is negative, like something is off, like again, like I mentioned in the title of this video, maybe you're dealing with excess weight that you want to get off, your body is not broken. Even if you're struggling to get the weight off, your body is just responding. That's all it's doing. And if it's an unfavorable response, really what it's doing is it's telling us something about what I'm getting in one or several areas is off. Because think about, let's talk about what being overweight means. So first of all, overweight is terminology that we've come up with to that essentially is saying being at a greater weight than what would be normally healthy for your height. That's really all being overweight is, okay? And now, so there are levels to it, and of course, obesity is a next level. It's like having a body mass index, I believe, above 30 or something like that. So it's like a class of overweight. Now, whenever you gain fat tissue, all that is your body is essentially taking excess energy from the glucose in your blood that comes from the food you eat, that you glucose that you're not needing, that's not going to be stored into your muscles for use, and it's putting it inside of your fat cells for later on. It's your body's mechanism of saving. Okay, like if you get money and you don't, you put some of it in your savings account to have for another time, to have for a time whenever you don't really have much. You know what I mean? And so then you got the storage where your body can use that to survive. Think about that. So if we are overweight, that just means that some kind of way we're getting in more energy than we need to. Now I hear the question in my head. So, but I don't even really eat that much and I'm still gaining weight. Well, the thing is, in your case, what's probably happening is not the quantity of food you're eating, it's the type of food you're eating. In our day and age, with our hyper processed food, we're dealing with food that is actually spiking our blood sugar to a high level, has tons of sugar or whatever in it that is causing your body to have to respond very significantly. And then when you couple that with our very sedentary lifestyles, where 100, 200 years ago, people would do a whole lot more walking and there's a lot more manual jobs that most people were doing. Nowadays, most of us aren't doing much of anything, like literally all day long. You couple a hyper processed food with extremely sedentary lifestyles, then you get situations where you can get overweight a lot of times pretty quickly and pretty significantly. Okay. And so your body's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And so what we have to figure out is if this weight is too much, then what inputs are contributing to this? Is it how much I'm eating? Is it the quality of the food I'm eating? Like if it's ultra processed? Is it the time of day that I'm eating? Am I moving enough? Am I being exposed to other things that are affecting my hormones, like plastics and um, other things like that? Now, the food that you eat can affect your hormones very significantly too, because whenever your insulin is up from eating a whole lot of sugar and processed food and stuff like that, it can affect a lot of your other hormones as well. But these are the things that we need to ask ourselves, because again, it's not that your body is broken. Even if you've been exercising and the weight just won't come off, that means that could have been one of the things that you need to deal with, your lack of movement, your lack of exercise. But that means there's something else. Again, what quality of food are you eating? What time of day are you eating? Different things like that. So the message that I want to give to you guys is, again, your body's not broken. And unfortunately, and I'm not trying to bash the medical system. I'm not, trust me. However, one thing that I really want to really convey, especially to people in my age group, if you're a millennial, if you are Gen Z, I really want to convey this. A lot of the solutions that we have in our medical system, which has its merits, the solutions aren't really solutions. They're not really dealing with the inputs. They're not really dealing with the whole spectrum. And so all of us as owners of bodies really have to we really have to examine ourselves and really kind of see what are we doing? What are we doing with our bodies? And it's only that's the only way we really deal with, for example, being overweight, or sometimes, like I said, with me dealing with that stomach pain and it being indigestion or whatever it was. I had to figure out, okay, what is it that I'm doing? I had to pause for a moment and just really kind of take the time to improve my diet, or even to kind of like not eat so late, to understand that eating late was what was contributing. And once I did that, it went away. And I promise you, especially for those of you who are trying to lose weight, but I mean, even also if you're dealing with other health issues, high blood pressure, whatever, if you can really sit and think about what is it that I am putting in, then you can make a difference. Again, think about a lot of our solutions in our society. And even since I talked a lot about being overweight in this video, I will talk about this. Like, we have solutions where, you get the fat sucked out, or you take medication to, to essentially cause the weight, you know, to go away, that type of thing. By slowing down by artificially slowing down the process of food through your digestive system, which will kind of like lower your blood sugar and different kind of things like that and make you feel full and all. That's the way it works, but it's just not a natural kind of thing. And it's really not dealing with, per se, the root issue, because once people get off of that stuff, then the weight just comes back. And a lot of times it comes back more because we haven't dealt with the inputs. So I'm saying that to say, whatever your body is telling you, whether it be through being overweight or having, you know, high blood sugar levels, or, high blood pressure, we got to decipher that message. What is it telling us? If your body's not broken, so don't give up on it. Figure out what it's telling you. Ask yourself, am I getting everything that I need? Am I getting all the nutrients, all the sleep, all the movement? Am I having times away where I can kind of not be so rushed and stressed? Am I getting everything I need? I think even regardless, even if you go like, medical route for different kind of things, I think it's incumbent on us to really pay attention to those things, to give our bodies a chance to do what they're designed to do, because the body is designed to heal. And I think that what God did when he made the human body is just incredible. And we're still finding things out in science. But decipher what your body is telling you. The real question is, will we as individuals take the time and go deep enough to figure out what in the world our bodies are telling us? Let me know if this message rather has resonated with you, and like even in particular what resonated with you the most. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Have a good day. As we get older, it becomes increasingly important to maintain and build muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat, stay mobile, and can contribute to longevity. However, many people have no idea how to work out to build muscle. My mini workout series on Patreon provides you with my body weight mini workout video library. These workouts use little to no equipment, which means that you can do them in the privacy of your own home. They start at beginner level and progress from there to ensure you continue to see results. Every workout is a full body workout, hitting chest, back, legs, and glutes, as well as other muscles in between. Become a patron today and receive access to my series of mini workouts, plus access to a digital copy of my book, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. By combining the workouts with healthy diet changes, as outlined in my book, you'll definitely be on your way to weight loss, improved health, and visible results. Join me at patreon.com/SeanB2B Fitness today.